Okay, great.
Hi, this is Janelle. I want to welcome you to the Bikini Body Makeover Series. Today, I'm so excited to have our special guest, Dawn Sylvester. She is a certified fitness trainer, and she's also sports nutrition certified. And she is the author of Final Fat Meltdown. She is a contributor to Oxygen Magazine, has received the Expert Author Award of Easing Articles, and is a contributor to LiveFitter.com. She co-owns a gym with her husband in Troy, Michigan Kettlebell Strength and Training Center. And she also took 2 trophies in her first figure show. So, Dawn, I'm so honored to have you today. Welcome.
Thank you, Janelle. I'm so happy to be here. This is a great opportunity for me, too. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Were you always fit, or how did you get into the fitness business?
Well, that's a great question, Janelle. If you saw me, I'm actually very petite. I'm only 5 feet tall, about 110 pounds, and let's just say that about 15 years ago, I was heavier than I was at the top of my pregnancy with my son. So no, actually, we're talking about 20 years ago, because my son is 19, and I was definitely overweight. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing, the reason I got into the fitness industry is because here I thought I was doing everything right to try to lose weight. I was a cardio maniac. I did back-to-back aerobics classes. I would come home and go on a stationary bike for an hour. I would watch a movie going on a step mill, and I would eat less and less every day because I was gaining and gaining and gaining more weight, realizing that this is such a mistake that women do, because I was turning my body into this perfect fat-storing machine. So I ended up meeting someone, long story short, that had what I considered to be a very fit, lean, curvy but tight athletic body. And she was in my gym one day, and I said, oh, my gosh, what classes do you take, and how much cardio do you do? And she said, you've got to stop doing all the cardio, and you've got to start eating. And I thought, well, I'm trying to lose weight. And she said, you know, all the things I just said, you've turned your body into this fat-storing machine, and you've got to reboot your metabolism. Well, I really took her advice, and I started doing a little bit more research, and ended up losing over 20 pounds in about less than 60 days. And I lost tons of inches, and I fell in love with body weight and weight training and strength training, and I've never really looked back. I mean, I really transformed my body, my energy levels. I mean, just doing cardio alone is such an energy zapper. And then I started having people asking me for advice, so I ended up getting certified in fitness training and sports nutrition, and now I do guest speaking engagements for women's groups and co-own a gym with my husband, and I can't get excited enough when someone comes to me that needs help. So that's how I got started.
Awesome, Dawn.
Thank you.
Wow, that's so inspiring. I know, because I know I've made those mistakes during the cardio, and I think that excuse me, when I go to the gym, I see all those women on the machines for hours, and I think, oh my
gosh, I know, and that's a method of beating your body down and tearing it up. You know, the thing is, as we age, we do get weaker unless we are involved in a strength training program, and it doesn't have to be heavy weightlifting. And women are so worried about, you know, getting bulky. We just don't have the testosterone, and it isn't going to happen. I mean, those women that you see on those stages that are so huge and so muscular, a lot of them are artificially enhanced with testosterone and different kind of steroids, and B, they are training and eating to put on as much muscle as they possibly can, and that is not anything of the type of training that I do with the women in my gym. So the women that follow my plan end up tight and sleek and leaner but curvy, you know, and you know, that word tone, you know, I keep saying I want to abolish the word diet and abolish the word tone from women's vocabularies. The definition of tone is basically just how tight your muscle is when you're not flexing it. So that means you have to have muscle on your body to have tone. So we train women to put muscle on their body, and that's how you raise your metabolism anyway. So.
Wow. So what would you see are the most common mistakes women make when it comes to working out?
Oh boy, and that's, I love it when women consult with me. As a matter of fact, I did a consultation for a girl just this morning, and she says, I've run marathons. I have, same thing as me back in that day. I do tons of cardio. I barely eat. Why am I gaining weight? Well, this goes back to what we are biologically meant to do. We're women. We are meant to procreate. We are meant to have more fat on our bodies. We are complete slaves to our hormones. So as we age, our hormones can take over instead of us being able to manipulate our hormones. And not by anything unhealthy. I mean, you can manipulate your hormones by getting a good amount of sleep. They say now 7 hours of sleep is the optimal amount of time. Anything much less than that, you trigger hormones in your body that keeps you hungry and keeps you in a fat storage mode. So that right there, added stress. So women are so stressed out because we do so many things and don't take time for ourselves. Stress is the cortisol hormone that promotes belly fat. So, you see all these ads, these pills that are supposed to block belly fat and block cortisol. You don't ever want to do it. You don't want a magic pill. There are definitely some good supplements like fish oil and probiotics, things like that keep your hormones working a lot better. And, so the biggest mistakes in a nutshell are way too much cardio and being afraid of putting on muscle, and then not eating enough to keep that metabolic rate torched,
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. So helpful. All right, so since a big part of your business is transforming bodies through nutrition that doesn't involve fad diets or trends, what do you see as the most common mistake women make with their diets or their nutrition? I know you were saying not eating enough.
Right.
But in terms of what they're eating,
Definitely, it's in terms of what they're eating. That's the key right there. So I will tell you what they're not eating, because I will say 98% of the time when I do a consultation, I have women use the free app. It's MyFitnessPal. It's a super easy app that you can use on your phone, and you just enter in whatever food you're eating, and I have them follow that for 14 days, and then they bring it to me, and I kind of look for the missing links. So the biggest thing is women are so protein deficient. In order to keep muscle on your body, you've got to eat protein. That's the only way. So you build muscle by doing resistance training, whether it's your own body weight or dumbbells or kettlebells or whatever it is that you're adding a little bit of, intensity to your workout. Then you replace those lost nutrients. So protein is the number one thing that women are lacking. Besides the not enough calories, it's definitely, protein. And then I think another huge mistake is we're still got a lot of carb addicts out there. Those simple sugars, the breads, the pastas, the rices, the quick foods that you grab that don't have any nutrient density. So, you're lacking fiber, you're lacking those antioxidants and those phytochemicals that keep your systems and, once again, your hormones working at that optimal level. And, that right there is a key. So women are so pressed for time. One of the options that you can download in my Final Fat Meltdown book is 45 smoothie recipes that comes with the book. And it's an easy helper. Right, the woman that I met with this morning has 3 children under 3. So talk about not having enough time.
Yeah.
So I told her about
my goodness.
I know. We do everything. We take care of everyone, but we don't take care of ourselves. So I was telling her about my smoothie recipes, have just such easy, quick ways, stored frozen fruit in your freezer, then you throw it in the blender, hit zap, and, you're out the door drinking your smoothie on the way to work, So just a lot of tips that are very doable that I have in my book that really cancels out all those mistakes that women have done that get them in that depressed and hating the way they look and embarrassed and ashamed and, all those things that lead to not liking yourself and not liking your body.
Yeah. Oh, Dawn, that's so great. Yeah. Speaking of your book, will you tell us a little bit more about your book, Final Fat Meltdown? Like, where can you find it?
Sure.
Well,
thank you, Janelle. This is an exciting part for me. I recently launched this book in November, but I had been using the actual plan over the entire summer. Since I only train women and I do nutrition consulting for men and women, I found out that women were actually having the best results with almost like, I hate the word tasks, and it's not a diet, that's for sure, but it's a 30-day plan. So women were coming to me after using this plan for 30 days, and I'll say the average was, between 12 and 15 pounds lost. And
Wow.
it's super easy to follow. It's based on nutrient timing and not cutting calories. So you kind of eat for what you're going to do next, and it's a very doable plan. Carbs are allowed, healthy fats are allowed, and actually a lot more. So it's funny because the first thing that people wrote in the testimonials was, I've never been so energized. So that's the first thing that people feel. And
awesome.
They can't believe that by eating more, the weight started to come off. So the difference with my plan is based on raising your metabolic rate. Most diet plans are based on cutting calories, and they're so hard to follow that you end up with a slower metabolism and you end up putting the weight back on. So, and that's why I named it Final Fat Meltdown. Even though it's a 30-day plan, it's a plan that you can follow for life. It's that easy. I have an entire section devoted on how to order in a restaurant. You never feel deprived. I mean, you can have a glass of wine. You can have your dark chocolate. You can eat your handfuls of nuts and eat steak and foods that you love. It's not deprivation, and it's not these little teeny prepared meals that don't even taste good, So
wow.
it's a great plan. And the basis of it is raising your metabolic rate, and that's what you have to do as you get older because, those hormones start kicking in over 35. And if you've had any weight problems in your history, they're only going to magnify unless you really get a hold of them. And it's definitely not what the women do, the tons of cardio. And when you click on the link, it's actually finalfatmeltdown.com. I finally dragged it out of the archives, my fat picture that I put up there that people can't believe it's me. People that have known me in the last 15 years just can't believe that that's me because, I'm very energized, I'm very fit, I'm very lean, and I really don't follow any diet plan. I just, I've turned my body into a machine that does the work for me. So, and I'm 55 years old right now, so people find that hard to believe.
That is so amazing. Yeah, that is so inspiring. I'm looking at your page right now, finalfatmeltdown.com, and you look amazing.
Thank you, Janelle.
Yeah, this is so inspiring. And
can you believe that picture? I figured I had to have people really listen to me, and I do understand what you're going through, and I have been there, and I guess I really had to pull that picture and put it up there, that some people that have only known me for 15, 20 years are like, that is not you. And I'm like, do you think I would lie about this? That is me, and that was me. It didn't feel great,
Oh, well, I was thinking, you bring so much value in, over 25 years of experience in training women for over 17 years. And, it's so obvious that this is what you're passionate about. You've lived this. It's nothing that, nothing is unrelatable. Like,
that is the truth. One thing, this is a little tidbit about me. I've also done hair for 27 years. So that is another way, I know, I speak so much about my passion for helping women that a big part of how I get my information is I stand behind the chair 3 days a week and have for 27 years. So I listen to women's complaints all day long. And, they're all the same. It's a universal complaint. I'm getting fatter. I'm getting more tired. I'm lethargic. I hate the way my body feels. I don't have a sex drive. Plus, I feel so badly about myself, and it's embarrassing. And I'm in the gym for hours and hours a day, and I'm trying so hard. I'm beating my head against the wall. Help me. And that's why it feels so good when at the end of a week or the end of 2 weeks of following my plan, women are calling me and saying, I was a little resistant because it didn't seem like eating more is what I should be doing. But then they feel so energized that they have the energy to work out. And the workouts in Final Fat Meltdown are 20-minute workouts. So there's no excuse that you don't have time and don't have the energy. I mean, it's all about the intensity, and they're follow-along workouts, that are 20 minutes, body weight only, that some people say they cannot believe how much their heart rate goes up. And there's a method that I use. It's called peripheral heart action. So when you go from an upper body to a lower body to upper body to lower body, you make your heart pump that much faster. You're pumping the blood to the body parts that you're using. So, I mean, you are sweating. Your heart rate is going, and I defy anybody that says, well, I'm a cardio queen. Your cardio will be met, believe me. It's just you don't have to do it for 3 or 4 hours,
Wow, so efficient. And, Dawn, that's so great how you can help women and the work you're doing empowering women. It's so great. And that similar, like how you're listening to women and what they say to you all the time. That's
right.
a huge part of what inspired me to do the summit and on this topic. Not just, bikini in a
Sure.
superficial sense, but for women to feel good about themselves, to be healthy, to get to the root of their health and putting themselves as a priority. I think it's so awesome.
Oh my gosh, Janelle, I was going to say I have a client that has lost 90 pounds in working out with me in our gym in a year and a half.
Oh my gosh,
and,
that's great.
I mean, and she just talks about how people look at her differently, how that word empowered, how she says right now she's in China, traveling alone in China. Like she says she feels so good about herself, and she still has weight to lose, but she says just the way she feels so empowered. Like you keep using that word, and that is such a word that I try to use with women, that when you do start taking control of things in your life that you think you didn't have any control over, you start to look at every other thing different, and you start to feel so much better. I think your relationships are better, and I really, really want to help women with all that.
Wow, that is so great. Okay, so coming to the next question.
Okay.
What is the best way to keep weight off and not have to keep starting over? Because I know, and speaking from my story, and lots of people too, I feel can relate. Maybe we lose weight, but then we gain it back and gain more, lose weight, and it's that whole yo-yo process. So what would you say is the best way? Yeah, the whole title of your book.
Sure, exactly. The Final Fat Meltdown, right. Of course I'm going to promote my book because it is based on, again, raising your metabolism. So the problem with fad diets and trends and weight loss pills and these complete food elimination diets is, of course, you're going to lose weight. And I mean weight by standing on a scale. But what happens is when we lose weight, we lose water first, we lose muscle second, and if you are lucky, you might lose a little bit of fat. But in the meantime, you have slowed your metabolism down, so now you need less food to maintain that weight, which is physically and emotionally impossible. So unless you stay in this dieting stage for your entire life, which is physically impossible and completely not healthy, you will gain the weight back. So the only way to keep the weight off is to put muscle on your body so that your body turns into an efficient machine. The kind of workouts that are in Final Fat Meltdown, the 20-minute workouts, they are proven because they're a high intensity and you're using your bigger muscles in your body and you're going a little bit quicker. What happens is your body, and this is proven through any kind of scientific studies, that you will burn calories for up to 36 hours. So even when you're done with the workout, you're sitting on the couch later on relaxing at night with your family watching a movie, your body is still in a calorie-burning state. That's how you keep the weight off, by doing smart workouts. You work out smarter, not harder and not longer. And by eating foods that create a thermogenic effect, which means just to digest the foods, which are proteins, eggs, whey-based protein, all the stuff that I talk about in my book, that keeps your body in a calorie-burning state instead of a calorie-storing state. So the idea is you have to keep your hormones tweaked to work for you, not against you.
Okay. The next thing this brings me to is, Dawn, you look amazing.
Thank you.
I've had the honor of meeting you in person, and just your energy, passion for fitness and helping others is infectious, and it's just so inspiring. And can you tell us, how can we slow down the aging process, live long and strong lives with our bodies working for us instead of against us? You're just amazing. How have you done it, and what's your advice that you give to women?
Well, I'll tell you, it's so much, when I do my guest speaking engagements with women, one of the first things is I have people raise their hand and ask how many people want to live to be 100 years old, and rarely does anyone raise their hand. And then when I ask why not, they say they don't want to be in a nursing home. So then the next thing I do is I ask people to, from a sitting position, to put one leg out and to see if they can stand up unassisted on one leg, and rarely can anybody do that. Then I will ask people if they are doing any kind of exercise. All of a sudden you'll see a huge show of hands, and most women will say, I do Zumba, I do yoga, I run, I do cardio, I have a stationary bike. But then I say to them, well, if you cannot at your age right now stand up unassisted, and your fear of living long is that you're going to be in a nursing home, the only way to conquer that fear is to get stronger. So I talk about aging with strength very often, or anti-aging our body by getting stronger. And again, with the studies, I mean, the studies across the board, you have to keep your body strong so that you can take care of yourself, so that you don't end up in a nursing home. Even having, one broken arm, you're completely off balance, or one broken leg, or something wrong with your foot. If the rest of your body isn't strong, you're going to create more imbalances, be weaker, and invite more problems. So strength training doesn't have to be going to a gym for hours and lifting heavy weights. It's body weight exercises, squatting, lunging, core exercises, and not sit-ups. I mean, sit-ups are actually not good for you. They're bad the way your position is. You have a relaxed back instead of a tight back. So some of the things that we do in the workouts are flutter kicks. I train people up to 78 years old in my gym. So,
wow.
So, I mean, my youngest client is 18 and my oldest is 78. So
That's
everybody
awesome.
can follow. Yeah, it's great because it's so awesome when you see a woman do her first push-up that could barely push their body weight off the ground from a laying down position, or someone that had to use a chair to squat back and stand up, and now they're practicing at home, or they're doing push-ups against their cupboard in their kitchen just to get their upper body strength, things that they wouldn't think of. So it's all about getting stronger, and that's the way you have to look at, aging, not aging gracefully. I say, forget that. I'm going to age with strength, and I'm going to kick aging's butt.
Awesome.
But it's being active.
It.
Yeah, and it's being active, and it's activities that keep your body stronger. So cardio alone tears your body down. And if you think of gravity, you're pounding your body towards gravity, and you're pounding, whether you're talking about your skin, your breasts, your buns. I like to say, you're literally running your butt off instead of body weight training and weightlifting, which creates a firmer rear end, firmer legs, firmer, tighter thighs, That's what, women want to see that, and men want to see it too. You want to have a stronger, leaner body that has tighter curves, and you don't get that from doing just cardio. So definitely just keeping strong and really paying attention to what you put in your body as fuel, And it's funny because I bring my lunch every day, and someone's always coming up to me and saying, "What do you have today? What is that? Wow, that looks amazing. What is it?" And I'm like, well, it's not wood chips. People think that because I'm healthy and I'm a nutrition person, they always have to report to me of how bad they were or how great they were, So everyone's always interested in how many different things I eat. I eat a lot, and I actually love to eat. I love to eat, And I guess that's why I'm energized, because I eat often. I eat protein with every meal and every snack, and, and I practice what I preach. And, hey, if I want to have an ice cream on the weekend, or go to dinner and order a steak, and, I have no problem with it, and my body, treats it like a treat, and it just probably shuttles it through my system, and I don't store it anymore,
Wow, so healthy, so balanced.
Yeah, and anybody can, it's about balance too, I'll have a glass of wine at night, and, again, it's not that thinking that something is a cheat, or that you're going to beat yourself up if you eat the wrong thing. That's such a negative way to look at eating, and there's so many amazing foods that we can eat that just make us feel great and energized, instead of worrying about what we, can't have. I think that's what dieting does. You obsess over what you cannot have and what you're not allowed to have. So it's a negative frame of mind instead of a great frame of mind that you keep energized and powerful and in control,
Right. Wow. Dawn, it's been such an honor to have you. We're coming to the end of our time. Yeah, thank you so much. You've shared so much life-changing information. So I wanted to ask one more question.
Sure.
You have a free gift for our listeners at constantenergyfitness.com, 7 days to extreme energy and a flatter belly. Will you tell us a little bit more about that and where we can find it?
Okay, so I write a blog, and the title of the blog is Constant Energy Fitness, and you can access that just by typing in constantenergyfitness.com, and that will take you to my blog. And one of two things will happen. You'll either get a pop-up box, or on the right, when you enter your email, you will be sent a 7-day free report. And it's amazing, too, in 7 days that you'd be surprised at how many changes you can make. So the first thing that people have said, and that's why I named it, 7-day report to extreme energy and a flatter belly, because the first thing people say is, okay, I'm eating more, I'm drinking your shakes, I'm following those guidelines of snacks, and I can't believe that I don't feel bloated because I'm eating more. But they're eating the right things. They're eating the foods that energize you. So there's 7 workouts for 7 days, 7 smoothie recipes, and 7 top tips on just keeping your body energized. And it's packaged up into a nice, pretty little report that, you know, you can print it out. A lot of people say they like to print it out because some people like to work out at home and some take it to the gym with them. So it's just a nice, compact little gift that I offer in exchange for your email address. And then once I have your email address, you will be getting on my newsletter list. And my newsletter is how most people have found me, that just say the information that I send out and the content is mind-blowing. So it's probably one of the terms I hear the most. So that would
Dawn,
be their free gift.
Thank you so much. This is so awesome. It's been so great having you. Thank you so much,
Janelle.
and it's been a pleasure. So thank you so much, Dawn.
Excellent. Thank you, Janelle. And there's also, I do have videos on YouTube. So if you type in Dawn Sylvester, you can see I have a couple other live interviews, and then I have a couple workout videos if people wanted to go to YouTube. So thank you so much, Janelle. This has been great.
Oh, thank you, Dawn. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.